Caitlin, and I work here as a museum educator at the National Museum of Mexican Art. And today's activity, we are going to be doing a project with cáscaras de huevo, with eggshells. We're going to be painting with eggshells. And so here's an example of what we are going to be making today. So in order to make this project, we are going to need a few materials. And the materials will be, we're going to need cups of water, some eggshells, food coloring, napkins, okay, paper plates, liquid glue, and a color pencil. Okay, so first step of the project is we're gonna begin to dye our eggs. So in order to do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a few cups filled with water. The amount of cups would be the amount of colored eggs you want. And so what we're then gonna do is we're gonna place the eggshells inside of each cup. And so I recommend per color to have at least 3 eggshells, or 3 full eggshells. That way you have enough eggs to work with. Because although the eggs look big, when we begin to crush them, you're gonna notice that it's actually not a lot. Okay. So I recommend putting 3 to 4 drops of dye in each cup. And you'll be able to tell if you need more dye depending on the color of the water. The darker the color of the water is, the easier it will be for the egg to absorb the color. So you can leave your eggs resting for around 10 to 15 minutes. I recommend checking every 5 minutes just to see how the egg is taking the color. Okay. So meanwhile they're soaking, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be designing the image that I'm going to be painting with the eggshells. Now, once your eggs are fully colored, take them out of the cup of water and place them on napkins. And that way we can dry them and make sure that they're completely dry before we begin to crush them. Okay. Once you've completely dried all of your eggshells, what I then recommend to do is to put them in a small plastic bag. And then from there, you're going to begin to crush them. And you want to make sure that they're in small pieces, in smaller size pieces, or have them as small as they can be. I also recommend crushing them with something. I wouldn't crush them with your hands because there can be a lot of sharp edges. So if you have like a water bottle, a book, or something that you can add weight to crush them, I recommend using that. Now, once you have completely dried and crushed all of your eggs, what you would want to do is separate all of the different colored eggs on different plates or napkins or something just to divide each of the colored eggs. And that way, when you're using them, it's easier to grab them and you won't mix all of the eggs together, all of the different colors together. Now that you have everything set out in front of you, what you're going to want to use is you're going to want to use a liquid glue. This will help stick the eggs to the paper more effectively than a glue stick would. What I also recommend doing is that you start gluing one color at a time. So In example D, I will start with the pink eggshells. And that way when you're gluing them down, the eggs won't get mixed with each other or they won't stick to different parts. And it will also help with the drying process. So make sure again to do one color at a time. And we are completely finished. So this is the final result, and this is painting with cáscaras de huevo eggshells.